Baddies Africa episode 1, which is titled Before the Motherland. Natalie Nunn's intro song, Baddie. I know I didn't spell it right, but yeah, low-key, I gotta like it. But can you please bring back like the Baddie South intros? Bring back the intros where the girls are actually doing stuff. Bring back even ATL intro. Like that was cute. Ooh, so you have Miss Natalie Nunn in the beginning coming out with her green bell bottoms and big blonde hair. It was giving very much so 70s vibes. Natalie says that the baddies are known everywhere and she says they are completely international at this point. Yeah, I think like it's kind of crazy how big Baddies has gotten. I don't think anybody ever expected it to get as big as it got. So it's crazy. They're starting off in Atlanta, Georgia before they go to Africa. I guess they just wanted to go to Atlanta so that they could have Stunna Girl and Ahna come and meet up. So I guess. Natalie says that she wants the girls to embrace the African culture and evolve a little bit. And I'm like, no, you don't. You don't want them to evolve because if they evolved, then they wouldn't be baddies anymore. Stop it. They showed Natalie in the confessional. I love this look that she has. Gold all throughout her hair. It's giving a little bit like ancient Egyptian vibes, especially with the golden cuffs too. So Natalie says this season she is not tolerating any disrespect. The nice Natalie's out the window, which I'm like, it's about damn time. However, it's a little too little too late because you already allowed girls to disrespect you from season 1. It's gonna look like you're just switching up on them. You did need to put your foot down a long time ago though. Like, you know, don't tolerate any disrespect because if you do even one time, they're gonna keep pushing and keep pushing. Okay, so next we get introduced to Rolly. Rolly looks really pretty in her orange and even in the confessional. Rolly says she comes from somewhere where nobody goes to Africa and she's so excited to go to Africa, and I'm really happy for her too. I just wish that she went to Africa like not a part of Baddies so that she can experience real Africa, because honestly you guys, if you go back to the motherland and actually embrace the culture and like connect with the people, it is the most beautiful thing on this earth. But like if you go there being a tourist and you only stay in the tourist spots and you only stay around American people the whole time, that's not really embracing the culture and you're not gonna get anything. Natalie and Rolly are sitting at the table and Natalie starts talking about how some of the OGs on the previous seasons have gotten really entitled, and I'm wondering who exactly she's talking about. You know, it's kind of hard for us as viewers to see that because we don't really get to see like their entitled attitude. That's something that they see. So Natalie says, I had no problem bringing back Diamond with the body. Natalie, you did that on purpose. It's Diamond the body. You know that. Why you disrespect her name like that? Diamond coming back is really crazy because in the last reunion, Diamond snuck Natalie and then she apologized to Natalie and apparently they had beef. It's kind of funny because Diamond literally says the same thing that Natalie says. Diamond says, this time around, I am not tolerating no disrespect. Like literally, that's what Natalie said too. Maybe that's why you guys are beefing, because you guys are the same person? The same person? Maybe? You literally said the same thing. Okay, so next they introduce Big Lex, not the little one. She's coming back to Africa. I don't think the fans really liked Big Lex in the first season or the whole Big Three, but honestly, I always liked Big Lex. She's cool. So yeah, I'm excited to see her back and I hope this season she kind of just like stands out on her own. Then they introduced Summer, none other. I knew Summer was gonna come back even before they announced who's coming back because Summer made so much drama and chaos on the previous season. That's exactly what Zeus wants. Summer is literally like the perfect villain. Everybody loves to hate her. She knows that and I think she doesn't mind being that girl. So yeah, Summer is back. And then of course, Bad Dolly. Bad Dolly, I love to see her style. Like she kind of gives me like a Japanese or Asian style sometimes, but all of the color, the really colorful look, I thought is so cute. And she has like some really unique style that is not the copy paste internet baddie style. So like I appreciate her for giving us some unique fashion. So yeah, I only hope that this season Bad Dolly doesn't get injured because this poor girl was injured every single episode that we saw. She had an injury and she just kept getting more and more and more and more and more. Then of course Pretty P is coming back. I'm happy because because she was one of those girls that always defended herself, stood on business, didn't let nobody punk her, and like she never started anything either. So she was very likable. And we get introduced to Ivori, Big Ivori. Ivori, I think she's entertaining. I love her more redeemable qualities, like when she stands up for the underdog, I like that. But Ivori has the Erica BGC 9 dilemma, which is when you have such a strong personality and strong, literally strong person in a house, everybody just kind of follows after them and nobody ever challenges them. It kind of will mess up the dynamic a little bit because nobody is going to step up to her. They all seem scared of her except Big Lex. Big Lex fought her, so I'm not talking about Big Lex. But yeah, anyways, it's not all about fighting. Hopefully this season we get to see more of her personality too. So yeah. Then we get introduced to Cold Killer from Columbus, Ohio, Midwest. So apparently she was in the auditions. But yeah, she was like beating up some girl. And then she says that she's going to be the fan favorite. So immediately I'm like, okay, I don't think you're going to be fan favorite then. Because usually that's just not how it works. So then we have Fauna from Jersey. She says she's an educated baddie. She has her degree. We love a smart baddie, okay? And she's really pretty. Then we get introduced to Russian Cream from Texas, and she was like, I auditioned for Baddies because I just want to level up in life. She was the only one that didn't come on here saying something crazy like, I'm a baddie, I beat up, I get money. She wasn't trying to brag about herself. She was like, listen, I'm just trying to level up. Respectable. Yeah. Then we get introduced to K Rican, who literally sounds just like Nunu. So she said she's from Atlanta and she's here to put career to end. I hope you're just not gonna come on here and just be a follower. Then we get introduced to Tavi baby, my bad. So then we have the online African pics. You have LCK from Zimbabwe, and they show her in her confessional. I'm like, what is that makeup? Why do you have so much makeup on? Oh my god, less is more. And then she says that her grandfather is the VP of Zimbabwe. So you basically lied to him to get on this show, because there's no way an African father or grandfather is gonna let you do this ratchet show. There is no way. And I really hope you don't get disowned after this. Then you have Choco Brown from Nigeria. She seems like she's ready for it. She's talking about beat up and all that. Kind of I'm a little bit nervous for the African girlies just because I don't know if they're going to fit in very well with the American baddies. It's just completely different cultures. Even if they're baddies in Africa, it's not the same type of baddie that's in America. Special guest gonna be Tommy. Tommy Lee is returning. It's always entertaining when Tommy Lee returns. But after she pulled that stunt that she did last season, I just would be done. Marissa, who is Annalie Choppa's baby mom. Apparently she's gonna be a celebrity guest. And then Amber Rose, who Natalie says is a Cape Verdean African descent. Notice how she didn't say African, she said African descent. So maybe grandparent, probably something like that. And then Stunner Girl, who everybody's so excited to see. My opinion about Stunner Girl is I don't think that she should be involved with Zeus Network at all. Stunner Girl is for real about that life. And I think that's dangerous. So I don't think she should be a part of the show. And then they said Biggie is on a baddie timeout, which Rolly actually said in the confessional that she did warn her about that entitlement, which I really wouldn't expect that. I don't know. For some reason, I thought Biggie would be more humble. I just personally think Biggie, after what happened to her, the loss of her man, I think that kind of just tore her apart and is really sad. And I hope that she actually takes this time to heal properly before she comes back, if she comes back. Rolly's asking Natalie, are we actually gonna eat? And Natalie's like, I'm not hungry. And immediately I'm thinking in my head, yeah, that's because that Ozempic. That's the rumor, allegedly. Then we get introduced to Scotty with the body. Scotty says that she can get in anywhere because it's called pretty privilege. Low-key, I feel like this was a diss to Natalie Nunn because last season Natalie kept saying, Big Lex is prettier than you. So I feel like Scotty is I have pretty privilege. And then so Scotty walks in and Natalie immediately, she's complimenting her. She's like, hey, your outfit is cute. And then Scotty says, oh, you think it's cute, but not me, huh? That was funny. That was funny, Scotty. It was weird because, yeah, I don't know. Like, Scotty came in with that energy, but I thought that they were cool because from the reunion, they were sitting next to each other. They were kind of like laughing together. So it didn't seem like there was any beef still between them, but apparently there is. And they cut to the scene where Natalie is literally saying, like, Big Lex is prettier than you. She's prettier than you. Natalie, that's not nice. It's not nice. It's really like, you know, I wouldn't do that to my best friend. I wouldn't never say that to somebody that I actually cared about. Yeah, it doesn't make you look good. You honestly, you kind of look like a hater. Okay, so Natalie brings up how Scotty is entitled and Scotty always puts her in weird and she never says anything. So I'm like, you know, yeah, can we get some examples? What does she put you in? And Natalie says, you know, the chain thing, which is, I think that's the only thing that Natalie has because she keeps bringing it up. You're only saying that. What else has Scotty done? Because the amount of like anger that you have towards her, it doesn't match like what she did. I need you to actually say what she did so I can be on your level. Ooh, so then last but not least, we cut to Ahna Mac coming inside. I think she's wearing her natural hair. It looks really nice. And she's wearing like this little red. It's cute. I like it. You don't always have to be like a slut. I could already tell by Honest face, she's walking in there like she don't give a like she's walking in there ready. Ahna walks in and Natalie's like, welcome to Baddies Africa. Welcome to Baddies Africa. It's just kind of funny.
Hey, Ahna. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Baddies Africa. Welcome to Baddies Africa.
Why'd Natalie say it like that? What did she do? She didn't even say nothing yet. So Natalie says, you came on one of the earlier seasons and you fought Scotty. Now you're besties, huh? That's so funny. That's so cute. And it's like, doesn't every girl on that show fight each other and then make up and become friends? It's not really that, you know, different. They were like saying, no, we're not besties. That's the difference. We don't walk around being fake, calling each other besties. Like, which valid point. Yeah, they never said they were besties. They're just cool. That's it. Natalie keeps yelling that Scotty isn't entitled. She keeps saying, you're entitled. You're entitled. You're entitled. How? I think I remember last season, Natalie was saying, I think Scotty was taking the jet to get to her bookings and other girls didn't do that. So maybe in that way. But like, yeah, I'm just like, how? What else? What has she done? What has she done? Somebody tell me, what has she done? So yeah, Natalie brings up the chain again. I'm like, oh my God, I'm over it. Yes, okay. Scotty already said, actually, did she ever say it? I don't know, but I think she acknowledged that. Yeah, yes. Natalie was like, yeah, but that scene was cute with you and Capri. You put the chain on Capri. And then Natalie's like, F you and F your dog too. I was like, what did the dog do? Oh my gosh. It is funny because Ahna stood up for Capri. She was like, leave Capri out of it. That's how I feel too. Like, what you got beef with her dog for? So they're just like arguing back and forth, and Natalie starts making fun of her, saying you were ducking fades all last season from Big Lex. And Natalie like goes on the floor and starts like crawling on the floor and mimicking Scotty. And Rolly's like cracking up. And honestly, I'm just like, why are you doing all that? When Scotty is sitting talking to you normally and you get up and you go, why are you letting her get you that much out of character? The level of anger that Natalie has towards Scotty doesn't match. It does not match at all. So then Ahna and Natalie start fighting, and Ahna says there's a difference between doing your job versus overstepping and deriding. Didn't really know what she meant by that either. Once again, I'm like, I need examples. Like, nobody's actually saying like, you said this or you did this. They're just speaking very vaguely, you know. As a viewer, it's very confusing to watch because we're like, we don't understand the beef, you know. So then Natalie's like saying, yeah, you're gonna meet up with Stunna Girl later. Like, I think she was trying to scare Ahna, but Anna's like, yeah, what's up? Like, I'm ready. And then Natalie goes, you ready to go to Africa? You look scared, Ahna. It was just kind of funny, like Natalie's face, the way she said it, she was like, you look scared. Ahna literally just laughs in this girl's face. Like she laughs so hard and she's like, Natalie, you are top dog scary. Like, you're the scariest person in this room. And literally, like, Anna's like, you want to run it? Let's do it. I actually wanted to. And she gets up. So then Natalie kind of tries to run up and Ahna like kind of tries to swing over security, but security really got in the middle there and really nothing happened. Security broke it up. Natalie's going crazy. She's picking up stuff, she's throwing it. And I think Natalie thinks that Scotty's trying to jump in and help Ahna, but I don't think that's what happened. I think Scotty was just like, you're throwing stuff at me, so I'm gonna throw stuff at you. I don't think she was trying to actually like jump in and defend Ahna and fight for Ahna. Once again, Natalie's like, I got too many receipts. I got too many receipts. And Scotty's like, run them. And me too. I'm like, run them. I want to know. What is it? What is going on? Scotty's picking up dishes. She accidentally hits Rolly in the stomach. I'm like, girl, you know Rolly just got surgery. Why are you hitting her in her stomach? Like, oh my gosh. And Rolly in her confessional was like, I will beat your. I'm like, what? You guys are friends. You know that was an accident, Rolly. She didn't do that on purpose. And Scotty literally tells Natalie, you wish you were in the pretty category with me and Lex. You wish you were in the pretty category with me and Lex. Rolly says, you know, something that I completely agree with. Rolly's like, you guys were both best friends at one point in time, and you guys are literally hitting each other below the belt with these comments. Like, this is crazy. It's too much. And that's what I agree. That's why I wanted to know more details about what happened that would make Natalie kind of shoot so low, and for Scotty to as well. How did it get to this point? Because you were best friends at one point. Is this just show stuff, or did you guys really like drift apart this far? Baddie was saying in the confessional earlier too, she was like, you know, Natalie, I know you're the boss, but you don't know how to be a friend too. And I'm like, it's gonna always be a problem, because when you guys are working, she has to be a boss. You have to accept that. You can't expect her to be a friend when you guys are working, which is filming this show. That's gonna be a tough dynamic, but until you kind of get over that, it's always gonna be a problem. So I guess Natalie had enough, and she's like, I'm out, I'm leaving. I'm not gonna let them keep disrespecting me and keep putting me in the middle of their beefs and all that. But it's just kind of like, you started this whole thing at the dinner. So you were coming at Ahna. You were literally like, welcome to Africa. Like, your demeanor was so aggressive from the very beginning. You expect Ahna to just sit there and just be quiet and smile and be like, yes, ma'am. You got to take some accountability too. I understand you don't want to be disrespected, but the way that you're going about this, not the best way. You know, you went like from one extreme to the next. You got to like go somewhere in the middle, you know? Oh man. So then like when Natalie walks off and goes inside of the black van, Rolly tries to follow her and check on her, and Natalie literally slams the door on her, and she's like, Rolly, no, I'm for real. I've never seen Natalie like snap at Rolly like that, and I kind of got nervous because Rolly, she don't play. She always is the only person, one of the only people to stand up to Natalie. Is Rolly gonna take that, or is she gonna, you know, get mad and become anti-Natalie now? Yeah, so then like Ahna says the same thing that Scotty does. She's like, Natalie always goes a little bit too far about this business. She doesn't know how to be a friend. Once again, I'm like, I mean, if you guys are working, she has to be a boss. That's just like, it's always going to be a problem. I kind of can understand Natalie's point of view when they say stuff like that. And Ahna is literally trying to like call out Natalie's past. She's like, you're not tough. You didn't grow up in the ghetto. You're white. You're da 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 da. I'm just like, I hate when people do that. Like, what does that have to do with anything? It's funny because even Scotty was like, well, I don't know nothing about that. Like, I'm not going to comment about that. Yeah, so then Rolly comes back in and she checks on Ahna and Scotty. She sits down. She kind of like low-key tries to check Scotty and say like, you know, you need to grow up. You need to grow up. And Scotty's like, I'm not the one who started this. Natalie is. And then Rolly says, all y'all need to grow up. All y'all need to grow up. And, you know, Scotty's like, okay, whatever. Okay. She never stands up to Rolly ever. She's just kind of like, okay, Rolly, okay. And then, oh my God, Scotty in her confessional says, Rolly, please. All you did was sling around a little twig all season, and now you think you know everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, she was kind of a little bold for that. Okay, so then Ahna leaves. She's like, I have to go get ready for this dinner with Stunna. And she gets on the phone with Diamond and she's like, oh, I just got into a fight with Natalie. Diamond the Baddie is so happy. She's like, yes. But like, really, it wasn't a fight, but okay. And Diamond the Baddie in her confessional with the little like African scarf, I think so beautiful. Most of the time, you know, her outfit looks good. DTB is like telling her like, you know, we need to just like have our own alliance. They're trying to come up with strategies to go against Natalie. They're like, we're about to do some house A, house B Like, I'm gonna take the new girls out. Let's get them on our side. I don't know about this. You know, they're already pretty much faithful to Natalie. I doubt that this is gonna work. Also, you don't need them. Stand on your own. It's just gonna make you a fan favorite when everybody sees, you know, you're standing on your own. Okay, so DTB walks into like this like lounge area. Ivori and Pretty P come in. Apparently, Pretty P and DTB had some beef from prior. I didn't even realize that Ivori actually kind of has some beef with Natalie too, because Ivori thinks that Natalie is the one that gave Stunna Girl her hotel and she got jumped the night prior because of that. So I was like, oh, wait a second. So maybe DTB's whole strategy is gonna work, because she's definitely gonna get Ivori on her side, and Pretty P is always gonna step behind Ivori, so Pretty P is gonna join as well. But my thing is, low-key, I kind of don't want that for Pretty P, because I feel like she's getting in the middle of something that she does not need to be in. Pretty P does not have any issues with Natalie, so she's aligning herself, and I feel like she's about to catch some straight. So yeah, apparently the beef that Diamond the Body and Pretty P had was because Pretty P's sister kicked Diamond the Body in the stomach when she was on the way out of a club one night, but Pretty P said they talked about it and they squashed it, so it should be done. But then Diamond the Body put a clown emoji on Pretty P's face afterwards. So I'm noticing a trend here where DTB squashes it with somebody and then she brings it back up later on. So I can see how that could be confusing. It was the same thing with Natalie. Like, you squashed it and then you brought it up again. Literally, DTB says, I'm just gonna squash it because I need an alliance. So like, low-key, she doesn't even really want to be cool with you, Pretty P. She just needs you right now. So Diamond the Body says that she invited the trio, aka Big Lex, Summer, and Bad Dolly. And I'm just like, why? You know that those three ride the hardest for Natalie. They're never gonna join your side. So in walks the big three. Summer's like, show me your baddest bitch. As much as people hate them, I'm just like, they're entertaining. You cannot deny that when they come in, like, everything gets turned up. They literally make the show. Oh my God. So immediately, Bad Dolly, as soon as she sees Ivori, she just runs up to her and they start fighting. I did not expect it to just happen that fast. I thought at least they're gonna say something like, you still got a problem? Like, but I guess this was beef from the reunion, and Dolly felt like she has to get her lick back because I think Ivori snuck her or something. So rightfully so. Yeah, I think if you got snuck, yeah, you did the right thing here. It almost turned into a brawl. Like, for a second, Pretty P and Big Lex were about to fight each other, but they're like, no, okay. And Summer is just running, let me get her. Like, so Ivori literally has like a gash on her face. She's like, give me another round. I'm gonna take my rings off. Tell her take her rings off too. So I guess they were both fighting with rings, which is crazy. But yeah, Ivori's like, nope, I need that. I need round two. So Bad Dolly is like, I'm not about to fight you again. That's it. Like, I did my one round with you. That's it. I'm done. And then Summer is literally trying to fight DTB. I don't know why, but she just calls her out. Diamond, come on. Diamond already has one eyelash gone. Like, what happened? That was really fast. Summer keeps telling Ivori, go run that with Stunner. Stop trying to fight Bad Dolly again. Go get that from Stunner. She was trying to say that like as if it was some sort of insult, but like Ivori got jumped by 4 people and she still like didn't get beat up that badly, so it's really not an insult. Bad Dolly and Ivori go again, round 2. It's pretty brutal. They're like literally punching each other in the face. I think Ivori probably got the upper hand here. I'm just like, okay, stop now. That's enough. Y'all both look crazy. Like, literally this whole scene is an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, an eyelash for an eyelash, wig for a wig. Like, everybody is looking toe up, literally. Not Summer tried to jump in again. Summer will always forever jump into fights. Summer and Ahna are literally the same person, which is why they don't like each other, because Ahna jumps into every fight for her friends and Summer does the same thing. Summer is like literally begging DTB to fight. She's like, I want to fight you. So finally DTB comes. They start squabbling. Low-key looked like DTB won. Like, at the end, she was, oh my gosh. You scared me. Yeah, so anyways, as I was saying, DTB pretty much took that. But, you know, Summer, she didn't do too bad. Bad Dolly, she's literally holding like an ice pack on half of her face and she can't even barely talk. She's like, we're Team Natalie. Like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you okay? It's already starting. The injuries are already starting for Africa. So then DTB is arguing with the big three because they keep saying their team Natalie. And DTB, she's like, why would you guys be on her team? She's not even faithful to her own best friend. What makes you think she would be faithful to you guys? At the end of the day, you can't make somebody be on your side because of your experiences, you know? They haven't experienced that yet with Natalie. They have to experience it themselves first, and then maybe they'll come be with your side. But to expect them just from you saying, hey, Natalie is not a good person, come be on my side, girl, they're not going to do that. DTV and Summer are like arguing, and DTV is like, look at you. I can't believe I'm even arguing with you. Look what you have on. How dare you? It's just funny. DTV low-key is funny. So Summer makes fun of the fact that DTV got part of her hair snatched in the reunion by Rolly. And she's like, I see that patch grew back. I see that patch grew back. And that obviously triggered DTV because she reached over security and popped Summer. And I'm like, yeah, girl, don't make fun of a girl's hair. You know that's sensitive for us. So then the big three leave, but just before they leave, Summer decides to take the purse that was on the seat. She doesn't know who it belongs to. She just decides to take it. I guess she was thinking it's going to be DTB or Ivori, but unlucky for her, it actually ended up being Pretty Peas, who at this point, they don't really have a beef, but now they do. So yeah, that wasn't a smart move. I'm watching this after the show was edited, but apparently there was also a clip in here where Summer had made a comment about Emmett Till to DTB, I think. Like I said, it's been edited out of the show. And when I read about it, I was like, oh my God, that is crazy. I can't believe, you know, yes, this is Baddies, this is Ratchet and all that, but there has to be some just lines that you don't cross. That was just very distasteful, disgraceful. And as a Black person, I don't think that you should even play around with stuff like that. I feel that same way, low-key, about fighting in front of Africans in Africa too. Like, that's also very distasteful, disgraceful. You don't know the stuff that they had to go through, especially South Africa. Those Black Africans in South Africa had to deal with so much, and then you're sitting here bringing this nonsense foolery in front of them. Like, I'm just saying, that's a whole different topic. I'll talk about it when it gets there. Summer and Dolly are just yelling like, Africa. It's like, is there an echo in here? Summer's like, Dolly goes, Summer's like, Africa. Dolly's like, Africa. So then finally we get the last scene, which is Stunna Girl arriving and meeting up with Natalie Nunn. And in this whole like beef, Stunna started it from the very beginning. You included Ahna in a beef that she had nothing to do with. Nothing to do with. You are wrong. Like, you know, there's no other way around it. You were wrong for that. And then you guys went back and forth and you exposed the Zeus Network multiple times. I guess they're okay with that. Apparently they like that because all press is good press, I guess. But I'm on her side. Like, yeah, why are you bringing her back? She disrespected everybody. She tried to expose everybody. She tried to out secrets of the network. Like, why are you guys rewarding this type of bad behavior? I know we reward bad behavior, but not that. It's just too much. She goes too far. So Natalie is literally recapping to Stunna Girl what happened earlier. She's like, yeah, I got into it with Scotty and Ahna. And honestly, Stunna Girl looks like she could care less. She's literally looking at Natalie like up and down, like giving 2 words. Yep, tell them what time it is. Natalie says, you know, my biggest issue with Ahna is that she just talks too much. She talks too much. I'm like, the pot calling the kettle black. It's funny these girls that have an issue with each other are like similar to each other. So Natalie is saying like, you know, you got me into so much trouble with this. Girl, how did you even find the hotel? How come you're not mad at Stunna Girl? Because Stunna Girl directly or indirectly put you in the middle of that, right? Everybody kept saying Natalie's the one who gave Stunna Girl the address. You're literally laughing and smiling to Stunna Girl like, you put me in the middle of this. But yeah, so Stunna Girl says, you know, I cleared your name for you. And she basically says it wasn't Natalie that gave her the address. It was somebody else. Then Ahna walks in and Stunna Girl just starts laughing at her for some reason. I don't know why. She like literally goes like, Ahna walks in with her hands folded. Her jacket is over her arms. I'm literally thinking like she's hiding something. What does she got under there? It's like the way she's walking in there is like as if she has something underneath. Natalie is literally trying to get in the middle and say, whoa, wait, let's have a conversation. Like trying to mediate. Ahna, she's like not having it. She's like, no, F you and F you too. Like, and she wants to fight Natalie. While they're kind of like pushing each other, whatever. The scene like shows Stunna Girl for a quick second. She looks pissed off. She looks like, Natalie, why are you trying to take my shine right now? I'm the one supposed to be fighting her. And then the scene just ends with like them two fighting. The previews for the next episode, Stunna Girl versus Ahna. You see Natalie versus Ahna. But yeah, then they finally make it to South Africa. In the bus, there's a brawl with like the new girls and the big three. Okay, so they're in Cape Town. They show the house. They show these African dancers. To do this type of foolishness in front of these people is deplorable. It's actually despicable. Like, Zeus obviously thinks this is so funny because they did the same thing in Hawaii. They had the traditional Hawaiian dancers out there, and then they made the girls get into a fight in front of the dancers, and you've seen the dancers just like run away and look scared and stuff. And I bet they just thought that was so funny that they needed to repeat the same thing. They're like, we're gonna get African dancers in Africa, have the girls fight in front of them, and then record their reactions. It's gonna be hilarious. It's so embarrassing. It's not funny. I really wish that they would just stop this, because these people actually came out. They probably practiced their choreography and what they're gonna do. They really want to impress these Americans, you know? And then you guys just do this. Like, ew, it's so yuck. It's so yuck.